This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana. We're here at Old School Barbecue, and guess who's back? I missed you. You've been
a busy guy. I've been a busy
guy. You're always
guy.
busy, but now, have you been fishing?
Been fishing once in the last month, and I tell you what, if there's a weekend to go, is this weekend coming up, because there's so many reports out there, and just about everywhere is hot. So we'll get into some reports later on.
Keep them ready. Keep them ready. Today is a special day. We video and taping today. It's Memorial Day, and lest we all forget, this is to remember the people that lost their lives or sacrificed their lives for freedom. They call it freedom, but it's not free.
There was a cost due.
And there's so many people that I know, and not in my family personally, but boys I went to school with, went to Vietnam. There's 2 or 3 of them that died. I don't know what else to say. Is that I think about them all the time, about how these people sacrifice, what we're going through now, even people in other countries fighting for their freedom, and there's children, people dying all over. So there's a lot of praying to still be done. Pray for the families that have lost people. Thank y'all doing it. And before I get started, I want to dedicate this show, and I'm going to start off in the beginning. Maybe I'll say something later. But Dr. Clyde Lindsay, he died at 99 last week, and he's a legendary. He's legendary in sports, administration, outdoors. He alligator hunt. He crawfish. He do anything in outdoors. Big, good bass fisherman, any kind of fisherman. Very handsome, distinguished man. Big part of my life. My senior year, I was at a Struma. I felt his paddle. And after I graduated, I felt his love. I mean, he was just outstanding. It's a great article. I took some pictures, and maybe I don't know how I can show you, but it was a great article in the Central City News by another classmate, Woody Jenkins, and it was talking about his whole history. He come to LSU. You know who he was coming here with?
Who's that?
Y.E. Tittle, legendary quarterback. And at the time he was here, he was all everything, and not just in baseball, track, anything. He played basketball.
3-sport star, wasn't he? 3-sport star?
Yeah, that's it. You got it. Now, I just want to dedicate. I hope your family is listening and watching. I know he was a big outdoor fan. We talked fishing. Last time I saw him, we were celebrating his 90th birthday, so I didn't get to see him too often. But everybody loved him. I love him. He is in the top 10 of some of the greatest people I ever met and knew. So, and that's it. We'll dedicate to this. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot of fishing reports. Don't know what else we're going to have, but we got the man here. He got some pictures. He got some photos. He got some news. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're at Old School Barbecue here on Corset Boulevard, being sponsored by Superior Bait and Tackle.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. Uh-huh. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
If y'all recognize this shirt I got on, says Soul Fest. There's so many rodeos coming up in the next month, in June, and they're coming out. This weekend they got the Castle Cloud Rodeo. There's so many of them. The high school alumni rodeos are coming up. But we got Swole Fest, and then we got the Big Trout Rodeo, or the state championship, we call it, at Bridgeside coming up. I've been announcing them every week. Tell y'all again, give me 3 weeks notice, and then give me a reminder every Sunday. And it might help. It might help your turnout. You know, them boys made a mistake one time, and it really hurt their turnout for one of the tournaments at Dry Run. Dry Run had a little friendly tournament. I hear KD did well in it. I want to go to the big tournaments right now that every month sending them out, and that's the Lions and Lunkers. Lions and Lunkers, they were fishing the East Pearl River. Again, the first place was Steel Sessions and Tyler Allgood, 18 pounds. You hear that? Pearl River, 18 pounds, 07. Second was, and Tyler Allgood, Steel Sessions, Tyler Allgood. Second was Cody Asterly. By itself, he had 14.02, and Big Bass at 4.8. Third was Charles Dozat and Mike Moore at 11.79. Now, they had a good many boats that had over 10 pounds. Now, what else can I tell you? The fish are big there, they're fun to catch. I don't care if it's high water, these guys know how to fish that area. They finding these fish. So, and if you want more information, and the next tournament's coming up June 25th, just contact Chad Harsog at 985-502-3217. Thank you for always sending those reports on time, Chad. We had a tournament a couple of weeks ago with Chalmette Refinery Rodeo, and what was good is KD called me and sent me, they fished the tournament, they got it, and they were fishing there with him and Gene Hoover, and they were fishing with Brandon Lutz. I don't know if I run the picture yet or not, but I don't want to miss it. He had first place drum, a big old drum, 25, 30 pounds, I'm trying to remember, but congratulations to him. Thank you, KD, for sending it to me. There he is, Brandon Lutz with that redfish. Now, kayak tournaments are starting to start. You know a lot about kayak. I had one of the two-time world champion, Steve Lassard, send me some information, and I used to get all this information before the tournaments and after the tournaments. I'll remind y'all again, kayak fishing is still growing. It's still popular. People fishing just for fun out of kayaks everywhere, ponds, in the marsh, in the big water. They doing everything. Kayak fishing. I want to help promote it. I love it. I got a kayak. I'm not that good. I'm not that graceful. When I get in a
It's
kayak,
less expensive. It's an efficient way to go fishing. You can drop it off wherever you need to go, and
I
doesn't
know.
require a boat
But
ramp.
This was unique about this tournament. It's called a Kayak Dawn to Dusk. It's a 3-fish slam. It's a photo and release. Photo and send it. They fish anywhere. A lot of people fished in Lake Charles, even in Empire.
Toledo Bay?
Grand Isle.
Grand Isle. I'm about to say Toledo Bay.
They do have freshwater tournaments coming up already, kayak tournament. But with Gissett, and Steve gave me this information. He sent it to me, and I asked him for the top, in the top 4 or 5, and he gave me. Steve Lazard won it. He had the big trout. He said he was fishing. He was just hanging there fishing a swim bait, and all of a sudden he caught it. He had 67 inches to fourth place. Second was Joshua Reed with 66.75. He's from Louisiana. Cody Drago from Texas had 62.75 inches. Look how close these are. Fourth was Ryan Alamo, 62.25 from Louisiana. Benton Parrott, 61.25 from Alabama. And sixth was, he didn't have the inches, Michael Leonard. Congratulations, guys. Thank you again, Steve. And by the way, I'm going to get Steve on here, talk about things that are coming up, talking about technique. And one day when I can't get you, I'm going to get him over here and get him on the show. He is unbelievable. I guess he's still hot, but when he was hot, he was winning, not known them national world championship. So he was traveling all over the country, all over the world. So congratulations to him. Thank you. Now let me see if I got a few others. All right. No, that's all I got in terms of rodeo report. When we come back, we got an extensive fishing report. So stay tuned. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana with Mr. Blaine Salters, J.B. Salters Jr.
Go ahead, you got it right.
With his fishing rods and his jig poles and everything else he got. He still ain't brought them new jig poles and reels. You get them reels in yet?
Next week.
Oh, go ahead. We'll have to get you back just to get me a reel. You know how
I'm going to put some aside for you.
We'll be right back. Old School Barbecue on Corsa Boulevard.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
like a fanatic with the latest generation of Revo. Built on corrosion resistance and comfort. World-class adventure awaits with Revo. Abu Garcia, for life.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Mr. Blaine Salters, I want to know one thing right now. I've been waiting for these reports to come in. I'm starting to get a lot of Sac-A-Lay reports, good and bad, spillways up and down. But they tell me the two hottest places going right now is back at Verret and Old River and Morganza.
Well, when we cover fishing reports, I usually talk to a group of folks throughout Lafayette, people who's fished Henderson throughout the week, the spillway, Lake Verret, or Old River. That's kind of the coverage. And let me tell you, there's never been a week where I've had so much harassment of just big fish being caught and quantities and the brim. I promise you last weekend, if you want to fish brim this weekend, you better put an order in online for crickets or go buy your crickets now. I don't think there was a cricket or a shiner left south of Alexandria last week, especially coming up into this weekend, because just many people are on the water and everybody's catching fish.
In this area right here, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, where to catch them? Henderson?
Henderson's on fire right now. Henderson, you can catch big brim. Sac-A-Lays are starting to start up. I mean, I've got several reports of 10, 15, 20, 30. Some people caught limits this past week. We've got a fall coming in the Mississippi River for the next 9 days, and it's going to be a steep fall. So going into next weekend, I'm not sure there's going to be a better weekend to not be on the water. But
that might be the one that's going to last all the way. The snow melt is over, maybe.
I tell you what, Verret's on fire. We're going to upload some pictures of a fishing report from Old River, 15 to 20 caught this morning, and all of them are right up there around 2 pounds in the Buttonwoods around the pier. So we're just starting that fall on the Mississippi.
From Glenn?
Glenn Davis, Jeff Rodriguez, some buddies of mine, Cornell, Adams. Everybody's catching fish right now. And if there's a weekend to schedule to go fishing, if you're not going on vacation, hit the water, but be careful. There's a lot of boaters out there that are skiers, hydrosliders, recreational, and you're putting a lot of fishing boats on the water, so be careful out there. But I tell you what, this weekend, it's going to set a record for fish being caught in South Louisiana.
And if you fish in trees, you better be careful. There's red wasps out right now. You see that thing, it looks like grapes hanging on the, you make sure you stay away, because once they hit you, there's no way to get away in a boat, and they're going to hit you. So I just want to warn you, the red wasps are out too. But don't worry about the snakes. Most of the snakes you're seeing now are water snakes. They make you hurt yourself, but they're not poisonous snakes. So now, you talking about Jeff Rodriguez? He sent me a picture of his 2 new puppies, the Beagles. They're beautiful, 2 little lady puppies. I was reminding him about my rabbit trip, and he told me, and I told him I was coming, and he said, well, you tell him I was using his jig pole, he was fishing. In Lake Verret, look at these pictures, he said he was fishing the south end of Verret, 4 foot under a cork, pink and blue jig. Now you have some of them pictures. He sent me a picture, was on Facebook.
Pink and blue hair jig.
He got hair jigs, and I know he sells them. He sponsors your fishing, all y'all fishing tournaments. You and Glenn.
There's a weekend to grab your kids, find some crickets, find some live bait, find you some jigs, and hit the water. It's probably the best weekend coming up of the year, as long as we can dodge some thunderstorms later on in the week.
While I'm talking about Sac-A-Lay, don't forget Toledo Bend. I heard you say a while ago that weather got bad, a couple times people get in trouble, but then people fishing in mid-lake, and they fish in those brush tops and this. And Brendan Dubrock at Slab Hunters L.A., he got his place over there in Lorto. He's guiding over there, got people there, but he's been fishing and guiding at Toledo Bend. He's been with Bent Rods. He teamed up with them, and he sent me some pictures. So many of them over 2 pounds right there. They also fish in what they call a natural forage jig. Look like, natural forage in there, and also live shiner. Say 18 foot They down 18 foot.
Fish are schooling back up in those deep lakes.
A number 2 split shot to get him down. So number 2 split shot. Thank you, Brendan. You need to let me know more about it. I know them brim and stuff. That river falling, them brim over there in Lotto and all those places are brim. Toledo Bend.
Old River right now is hot. They are wearing fish out.
I would get back in the ballpark.
That's where they're catching them.
Your dad and I go back in the ballpark, and he had his special cricket. I should have bought him. If I'd known that, I still got a bunch of them. His cricket bait with a little
brim hook.
Right. And he showed me how to hook it so it don't crawl off. And they good anywhere. Lake Barrett, whatever. Crickets. That's it. Don't forget a worm, though. If you fishing a worm, you can catch all the catfish you want, too.
There wasn't a live bait left in South Louisiana Friday.
Come on.
Not one. I had probably 10 calls today with them.
You know, Gulp makes a artificial cricket. It works. I catch them over there. They make an artificial cricket.
I believe it.
I'm talking about taking a place if you can't get them.
They have a sixth sense, though. You can drop an artificial cricket made with a 3D printer that looks just like the live cricket. For some reason, they eat the live one every time. I'm telling you, it's hard to beat that cricket for a brim.
Well, yeah, okay. You work for Fluker?
I don't work for Fluker, but he's been a good friend of the family for years.
Yeah, you're right.
And look, he supplies all of Louisiana.
I never forget the Spillway Sportsman. If they could have bribed Joe Macalusa, please, Joe gives, like I do, we give a true fishing report. If we tell you they're biting, it came firsthand, okay? And they would say, Joe, just say the waterfall, do whatever, because we can't sell a cricket or a shiner. He said, but we can't keep a cricket or shiner when you give a good fish report in there.
Well, they're going to have trouble this weekend because it's going to be on.
Let me get to this fishing report right here and make sure I'm not leaving. These are some pictures I've been begging for. The hottest place last week that I was getting is Cocodrie. Gary Krause and his wife and them were catching fish over there. Dwayne Chapman from up north Louisiana made the trip, 2-day trip. He had 55 Friday at Wine Island on the rocks. Saturday had a limit, 75 early. And they were at Bait St. Elaine on live shrimp. I got a picture. I got to sneak this in. A good friend of mine, Keith Bird, he's still on the internet. He's still fishing and everything, but he used to fish a lot of those redfish tournaments, him and his brother. He found a picture from 2004 and he sent it. I sent it to Chris. I don't know if it's going to come out. This is when they had the old boy, Alberta. He was sending me names now. They got a lot of, Power Pole got a redfish tour. They had one last week, and he was giving me the information so these people, I can tell them when next time you got a tournament, you call me or email me and I'll help promote it. I used to love to follow all those redfish tournaments and take video, but here's me interviewing, picture of me interviewing him and his brother. So thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. What else I got is Cocodrie pond fishing. Pond fishing. My boyhood friend and cohort, his daughter Dina, Mato, pretty girl, fishing food, they come up fishing. She's fishing a pond up, a lake up in St. Francisville, and with her friends, and he wanted to cull some of the bass out there and then keep them. We told them they couldn't keep anything that was either had eggs or getting close to 3 or 4 pounds. So she had 18 fish she had to throw back, caught it on a purple and blue worm. Thank you for that picture. I sent it to her. Congratulations, Dina. Keep fishing, keep chunking. Pond is a good place to fish right now. A lot of them, they was early in April and in May, but right now you can go fish in ponds if you're out there working your food plots or getting ready, for hunting season and you're doing it during the summer. Fish in ponds, it's a good way to do a blast and cast. Nothing better. Let's see. Saltwater. I told you Cocodrie. You can't name a place. Grand Isle, with all them rodeos coming on, I'm talking about Fouchon, in the rocks, right outside Grand Isle on the beach. I'm getting reports from all over. Live shrimp. It's a little early for croaker, but some people are catching their own croaker and catching some bigger trout. All the little places you fish off the bank, Elmer's Island, kayak fishermen, catching fish in the other areas. Slidell, what can I tell you? Mike, I don't know if he had time to send me no pictures or if he did, but I know he was on Facebook. He fishes out of the point, but my friends right there at Island Marina, all the captains are catching fish back early, and some of them are fishing in the evening. And in the evening, right before dark, it's cooler, and they're fishing at night. Big Lake, look at all the reports we're getting from Big Lake right now. Vermilion Bay. Tell me where they're not biting.
There you go.
Trout. Can you name?
There you go.
Any bad
Go fishing
reports?
this weekend.
It's the weather, but still, you tell me one place. So that's it. You will have anything else? You got any other news from me besides my reel coming in a week?
That's it. That's about it. Go fishing this weekend.
Okay.
Get out the house.
Give me them pictures. Well, what we got coming up, I know some of these big tournaments are coming up, Sac Lake Fisherman, national tournaments and stuff. So you said they'll be on Facebook?
Be on Facebook, and next week, it's 2 or 3 weeks out from some of the bigger tournaments. So
Well, got people get ready. Thank you here, Old School Barbecue, Marty and Alan. Thank you. God bless Louisiana. One more time, thank you for the service and your giving your life to keep us free. All the people that lost their lives and the families that suffered with them. This is Memorial Day today. From now on until the rest of the year, we honor you, we pray for you, and we thank you.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.